So we're going to talk about atomic structure and atomic mass. These are really foundational things that you absolutely have to know in order to continue on with chemistry. So if it's something that you're having a hard time with, you should definitely reach out to me. Look at some of the other resources I have posted on Canvas and make sure that you're understanding what's going on. First, let's talk about what an atom even is. Atoms are very, very tiny building blocks that everything is made up of. I'm made of atoms, you're made of atoms, every single thing is made of atoms. And different types of atoms are called elements. So if you have an atom that's different from a different type of atom, they're going to be two different types of elements. This picture that I have here is of a movie that I will show a little later this year called A Boy and His Atom, and these are actual images of atoms. You can kind of see you've got your nucleus here, this little silver ball, and these ripples on the edges here are your electrons, because electrons are very small. Speaking of, you have two different parts to the atom. First is the nucleus, which is here in the center. The nucleus is in the middle, and it contains most of the mass of the atom. So all of the weight to it is contained into the nucleus mostly. It also contains all your protons and neutrons. Then you've got your electron cloud. Your electron cloud is this red bit down out here, and it contains your electrons. And electrons are a little bit less set in stone in terms of their location. So the nucleus is pretty constant, the electrons not so much. Protons, anytime you have a certain number of protons, that's going to determine your element. So if you have 6 protons, you're going to have a carbon every time. If your carbon suddenly has 5 protons, it's no longer a carbon, now it's a nitrogen. So you need to make sure that you're paying attention to your number of protons. The mass of a proton is 1 atomic mass unit. That's what we call it, AMU. And it's based off of the mass of a 1/12 of a carbon-12 atom. We'll get to isotopes here in a little bit. Just know that that's what it's based on. And protons are positively charged, so it's easy to remember proton P, positive P. Next we have neutrons. Neutrons have no charge. They're neutral, neutron, neutral, not negative. Their mass is about 1 AMU. They're almost like a neutrally charged proton. And the number of neutrons in an atom can change all the time. So protons can't change without changing your atom's identity, but neutrons come and go. And your protons added to your neutrons is what's going to give you your atomic mass. Next we have your electrons. The electrons are negatively charged. They have a mass of about 0.0054 atomic mass units, which is roughly 1/2000th of a proton. So it would take 2,000 electrons to equal the mass of 1 proton. So they're very, very light, very, very small. And electrons are where chemistry happens. That's where reactions take place when things are on fire. That's what electrons are doing, all of the work there. Protons and neutrons generally kind of stay the same. They don't really do much unless there's radiation happening. But electrons are where chemistry is going to happen.